Hi Libra, welcome to your monthly reading. As always, keep in mind that this is only a general reading. Always take what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences during this time. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. For the month of May, as usual, I have a special sales offer available, and for this month, it's inspired in the current abundant Taurus season we are on. And if you would like to know more details about it, you can read in the description box or you can email me with your questions. And if you'd like to donate and support my channel, you can also do that by following the PayPal link, which is also down below. So, Libra. I feel like the month of May can present at times a sense of difficulty when it comes to emotions. There's a little bit of an emotional turmoil that can be felt like this ongoing current that drives you to confrontations, that drives you to the understanding perhaps in harsh ways of situations, relationships, areas where you have been somehow emotionally invested that are not working or that are just, there's something here that plainly is not working. So it's very important that for many of you, Libras, in the month of May, to not disregard or dismiss the importance to come to terms with this situation in specific for many of you that is just not working. And I feel like many of you have been trying so hard and so much to make something work that, with the 10 of Wands, this feels like, a responsibility, it feels like a duty, it feels like a burden, it feels like something that you must absolutely do. And I feel like one of the things that you're invited to consider during the month of May is that if it is so heavy, if it is so difficult, if it is such a source of burden, why do you carry it? Is it really necessary, or are you wanting to take something as something needed, to take forward with you? Because in reality, I feel like you feel like dropping it would be a weakness. For some, there could be also this sense of you don't wanting to come across as perhaps not being someone that puts the hard work, you not being someone to blame because you gave something up. For some of you, there could be fears around being seen as coward, being seen as lazy, being seen as just someone that is not willing to push forward the way that there's something here about like the way that others do. There's something here about what others expect of you versus what you really want to do or how you really want to do things. What for you makes sense, what for you equals responsibility, equals, adulthood, parenthood. Because for many of you, Libras, there's this tags, this preconceived definitions of who you're supposed to be, through expectations and beliefs of others. And so there's many burdens that also some of you Libras are carrying that are, more of the pressure of the world itself than things of your own nature, the things that you actually, are going through. And I feel like the moment many of you just drop it and just choose what you want and just choose what makes for you sense, things will turn around in your favor. I feel like for many of you Libras, the challenge is to choose yourself in the commitments that you have, meaning that you choose to be in one or you choose to leave one because that's what you want, not because that's what expected of you, or you follow a specific belief system, or you have this concept of what you should be as an adult, what you should be as a professional, as a wife, as a husband, as a parent, as I said, as a member of society. You make choices based on what makes sense to you and not what makes sense to others. And many of you, this is ingrained in you. It's like for Libras, there has been this energy that has been, taught or passed through generations that you're now becoming aware that you have been, for some of you Libras, it's like you have been relieving your parents' mistakes. For some of you, there's a little bit of that consciousness coming in the month of May, that you're relieving something that you've witnessed with your parents, or you witnessed with your caretakers. And again, there's something here about you dropping it. Unconsciously, you desire death, so you desire change. You desire transformation. You desire to get rid of toxicity, get rid of what's heavy, get rid of what is not serving you or serving an area of life that you really want to see progress. But there's also this huge tendency with the Seven of Swords in the heart of your reading to avoid making the cut, to avoid, again, coming to terms with what needs to be confronted, to have the difficult talk, the difficult decision. There's something here about words that need to come out of your mouth. For some of you Libras, you might find that there are situations that escalating through the month of May that might, trigger some sort of words. So there's something here about communication coming out of you without something you're saying that is what you mean, is what you feel, but it comes out so different from what's expected of you, because it's something that you have been withholding, certain truth, certain things you want to say, certain even opinions. I feel like for some of you Libras, there's your opinions that have been, you have been holding back from giving them. So there might be here also issues with, you just stating an opinion that might shock people, or that just might contradict what, again, has been expected out of you. There's something here about the role that some of you have been fulfilling, right? More than a role. More than being yourself. Like for some of you, it's really portraying a character of sorts. So there really needs to be an understanding of in which area of life you tend to do this, if not in many, and why. Why do you feel like it's wrong to be the true, raw version of yourself? If that's what, it wants to come out. There's a reason for that. It's because it has been so bottled down, and I feel like for many of you, so bottled down, is really buried. There's something here about yourself, the self being, buried. And the point of the next months is to bring it back, bring something back from the depths of your being that has been forsaken. And I feel like many of you, any kind of separations, losses, perceived unfortunate events, difficulties of any kind, they are all going to lead you back into a point of balance, which is where you need to be fully functioning as, in a higher expression of what the Libra energy represents. So whatever happens in the month of May, it's not against you, it's for you. That you of yours that has been, again, smothered, that has been repressed, that has been hidden, or for some of you Libras, there's a message here of you being living here, perhaps, double lives. I feel like there might be a need to cut with the Seven of Swords, or what the Seven of Swords represents to you, which is anything that it's fake, that it's superficial, that it's a lie, that it's deceptive. Any area of life where there's deception happening, where there's, again, something hidden. There's something behind the curtain for some of you Libras, and I feel like many of you are aware of this. So you are aware that there's an aspect of your life that is hidden, that has been hidden so far, or for some you could even, find out about this, that maybe there has been things hidden from you, right? Either you have been played or you are playing. Each way, there's a realization about not wanting to play around or not wanting to be played. And the Seven of Swords in the heart of the reading is very, concentrated in this point of look at the Seven of Swords. What are you running from? Why you're running from it? What are you lying about? Why are you lying about it? Who is lying to you? Why you're allowing it? There's so many things that are very questionable here. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of things around the month that is gonna, raise your eyebrows and really make you, wait a minute, this is not right, or wait a minute, it's almost like also catching yourself up, right? Like, why am I saying this? Why am I doing that? Why am I buying this? Is catching yourself in moments where, again, you're playing here the narrative of the Seven of Swords, and you becoming aware, like, no, I don't want to do this. It's, when we catch ourselves in the wrongs and we understand that there's something up with me, right? There's something about me that is leading me to the wrong path. Being the wrong path, not a question of morality, but the wrong path being a question of you not being able to truly be yourself. So your relationships of all sorts, your projects, your work, your family, the way you feel, at a whole with life, is always going to be superficial. That's the price, that we pay when we're not being, ourselves, when we're not living a true, authentic life. It's like everything, everything that we taste, everything that we earn, everything that we get, it doesn't feel like is enough. It feels shallow, empty. It's not nurturing you. It's not a source of nurturance. I also feel like for some of you Libras, there's something here about diet. For many of you, there could be this need to check in here with your habits, specifically with diet. So foods. Are the foods you're eating nutritious for your body? Are you putting in the right nutrients? That could be, for some of you Libras, there could be some sort of nutrients deficiency. I think I'm saying it right. That can be causing also some burdens here in your health. For some of you, this energy of nutrition is really, again, being mindful of what you're putting in, being the foods you eat, being, the emotions you're internalizing, the thoughts that you're hiding, the things that you're creating. For some of you, it's almost like this web that's being weaved or has been weaved that represents a strong karmic cycle that has led you ongoingly to be going through this death experiences where it's like a feeling like in your unconscious there's a lot of fear, but also a thirst, right? A hunger for change that it's enormous. But then I feel like you fear it so much, or you are afraid of certain losses here, that you run from it, right? So it's like you have been running from death, meaning that you have been running from necessary endings in your life. And some endings, there's this idea, right, that endings can be, the majority are painful, yes, or they can be difficult, yes, but there's another perspective to endings, and there's another side to endings, which is endings being such a source of relief. So when a problem ends, when a very toxic relationship ends, when a chapter ends, when something ends, it does not have to be bad. It could just be, a phase has been completed, a lesson has been learned, something has been growing itself into experience. Now you're after something else. And what many of you Libras are after, and you're going to encounter as you move to June, is balance, generosity, openness, the right flow of give and take. So relationships where there's a fair and balanced exchange of resources, of investment, of emotions, relationships that are partnerships where both function as equals, relationships where there is reciprocity. I feel like for some of you there has been also issues here with, reciprocity, meaning that one giving more than the other, one loving more than the other, one having more than the other. One putting more the work than the other. So for Libras, that this is about crisis in marriage, crisis in relationships. Either there's an ending that it's necessary to happen so that you're free from something that has become a huge burden. So a relationship that it's work, a relationship that it's about, as I was saying in the beginning, there are some Libras here that want to ensure that a relationship continues because they don't want to be, seen as weak. So there could be this conception of, divorce, or separation being a sign of weakness or irresponsibility, immaturity. Some Libras don't want to face the criticism that you could be then met, or you don't want to face yourselves in the mirror, in terms of if you're the one making here or in need of making this decision. And the same applies to a job, to a project, to something you have been building and trying, and then you just take a step back and you realize this is just not working. But many of you know that something is not working, and it creates emotional turmoil and it creates crisis in your life. But you're so some of you Libras are so rooted in what has been created so far that you'd rather be in pain, you'd rather be in suffering than, again, giving something up. For others of you, it could be that during the month of May, there's a presentation of a situation that leads to some of you understanding that, there's a level of forgery here. So I really feel like some of you could be finding out that something has been, there's something that has been pretending to be as something that it's not. Be aware of your information, your data. Make sure that you protect your information, your data. You change your passwords. You change anything that you can to ensure more safety around informations about you, your privacy, your name, your reputation are also themes that could be bringing some difficulties here. In other way, if some Libras are, just in a moment in time where you just feel like you need to get away from something that is presenting themselves as being so difficult to process where you are advised to search for ways, because help is available to you. So if you need someone to talk, if you need a shoulder to cry on, if you need professional counseling, advice, help of any kind, the universe is supporting assistance to you in any kind of problem you're dealing with. So I hope you have a great month. I want to thank all of you that have been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and donating to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll see each other soon.